Yo, that's a nice looking car.
Yeah, that's a nice looking car, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like the same car we're in right now. I bet that one's an all-wheel drive, though.
I don't know. It might look. Yeah, it looks like it's an all-wheel drive. Not that you could tell any difference from that.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same car. Like, except two other wheels work. That's it.
Hello and welcome to the third generation Lexus GS350. In this case, the F-Sport. Now, yeah, it sounds like a really long name, but the title to that car goes with something that's pretty unique in this aspect. With a world that's filled with all these German sports sedans, Lexus is now into the competition. With the new design elements that Lexus has with its new spindle grille, this is a car that sets itself apart with a lot of its competition. This particular model that we're in today is the Lexus GS350 F-Sport rear-wheel drive configuration. We'll go through some of the differences between the rear-wheel drive and the things that are on the market right now, especially its exact competitor, the Lexus GS350 F-Sport with the all-wheel drive. We'll go over some.
Both of them this time.
We have both.
We got both.
So it's
We're hooking it up.
It's a proper head-to-head. But just again to go back to what we have on the market today and what you can get with this particular vehicle. When you think about the Lexus, again, from our older reviews, you can kind of see how we talk about Lexus being something that's really, you know, luxury forward, very comfort forward, right?
It's a Toyota. It's the reliability of a Toyota with all the luxury thrown in it.
Yeah, exactly.
All of it thrown into it.
Exactly. And I mean, it's not your dad's or mom's Lexus anymore. These particular generation Lexuses are providing a design element that's completely outside of the borders of what Lexus used to do. In this particular model, the GS is one of the first generations of Lexus with the new design elements, with the very sharp lines,
LEDs,
the LEDs. Yeah, it's a very nice design element. Now, that's just the exterior. Now, interior also, if you look at it, yeah, it's a completely different feel of Lexus car. Sedan, I mean, they're carrying the design elements completely on the inside. One of the things that you can, realize just from the bat is the fact that they're coming out with color combinations that they've never, at least from my perspective, I've never seen before.
A red interior, that's not a thing.
Yeah, and this particular
that's a
model,
real sport car thing.
Yeah, this particular model, you have the combination of an ultra white exterior and a Cabernet red interior. Now, if that doesn't speak sport to me, I don't know what does.
Exactly. A red interior. Red is sport. Yeah. Red, yellow, those things are sport.
That's sporty.
That says sport.
But then, with all these sport elements and design elements, Lexus hasn't gone astray from their main component, their passion for perfection, right? And reliability, and most of all, luxury. You sit in this car and you're like, this is...
I just wish I had those massage chairs that the LS has, and then it'd be a perfect seat. It'd be the perfect seat.
This particular seat is a 18-way adjustable seat. How you get 18 ways to adjust the seat, I don't know, but you're capable to do that in the driver's seat. So if you are the driver in the cockpit of this car, you're comfortable in 18 different ways.
Yeah. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
But it goes back like a dentist chair, sit up straight.
So now let's talk about the actual power platform for this particular vehicle. Again, we talk about the fact that you can have this car as an everyday driver, you can do it as a grocery getter, you can take it to the office whenever you want, but you can also take it out on the weekends to windy roads. Yeah. And that's exactly what we're doing today. With this particular setup, if you get the rear-wheel drive configuration, you're getting more of the performance-oriented version of the vehicle.
It looks like it. You can tell the difference when an F-Sport drives by versus the normal one looks like. You know the difference.
You know the difference.
You don't even need to see the badge. Just look at the rims. You'll see the rims. 19-inch rims come with it. Come with run flats too. That's how you know. That's how you know it's a sport car.
The front fascia is also more aggressive. That spindle grille is replaced with a honeycomb insert for the spindle grille, so you can see that it's a completely different front grille. In the back, you also get a diffuser that's on the very bottom, kind of like carbon fiber looking, but it's not. It's a faux carbon fiber look to the back diffuser.
Also, the body kit also that great body kit.
Full aero kit on the car. Yep. So you get that design element for visual, so you know exactly what version of this car that's rolling by. It's not the regular version. This is the F-Sport model. The rear-wheel drive also comes with the dynamic rear wheel steering. So if you are somebody that's looking for the performance oriented version of this sedan, go for the rear wheel drive combination, because you are not only getting the staggered wheel package that you get with the vehicle when you get a rear wheel drive. It's two 35s in the front and two 65s in the rear. And then you also get the dynamic steering package. So say if you go into a turn, you're going left, your rear wheels will counter steer to the right to get you that very sharp turn.
You can feel it. There's a difference. There's a great difference between the all-wheel drive and the rear wheel when you make these turns on windy roads. You can definitely feel that you're in the curve. You're actually going in. You don't feel like you're going to lose control or anything like that. It's great. It's a great feature to have. But then there is the other side of this, that if it snows where you are, you need a second car, because rear wheel it'll work, but if you get a foot of snow like we do out here, probably not a second car, right?
Yeah, and
that's your
that's kind of what you have to give or take when you decide to purchase this particular.
But rear wheel drive, that means sports car. You don't get rear wheel drive in cars that aren't meant to be sports cars. Family cars and things like that come in front wheel drive for that reason, because when conditions get a little bit not so whatever, that you can still go in them. You can still go get the kids when there's snow outside.
Yeah, Lexus does equip every model with a snow button.
Yes.
The functionality of that snow button and how good it is, I wouldn't be able to.
It helps. I've hit the snow button.
I know.
It helps, but it's not. Don't go on there when there's ice. Don't do that.
You don't want to. Yeah.
Don't rely
2-3 feet of snow. You don't want to be taking.
Get some hot cocoa and just hang out.
Just relax.
Put on some Netflix.
So the snow button is meant to set up the power displacement of the vehicle to coordinate with the snow. But again, the functionality behind that in a rear wheel drive, I don't know if it's the best in the world, but definitely not something that I would try to take out.
Yes.
Now, the combination, whether you go with the all-wheel drive or you go with the rear wheel drive of this particular car, you get the same power displacement. The horsepower that you're getting with this particular car is 306 horsepower, and 280 pound-feet of torque. So it's by no means an underpowered car. It's from when I drove it, the response that you get, the throttle response, the power that you get once you put the foot down, it's pretty phenomenal.
Naturally aspirated. There's no turbo, no supercharger. In a world full of them.
In a market that's flooded with turbos and superchargers. Now, I mean,
that's give or take. See, the thing is, you get the naturally aspirated engine, you get pretty much automatic, torque. But the thing is that turbos, everyone like BMW and Mercedes, and Audi for sure. Audi's been doing it for years. Is that those turbochargers? You have to get a smaller engine, but a quicker car out of it, and that's kind of the trade-off that you're seeing from Lexus. Is that it's still a powerful car, still a quick car, but you add a turbo in this, it'd be great. But they're saving the turbos. They're saving the twin turbos and the V8s. They're coming. I hope they're coming at least. I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it when we don't get V8s anymore. I'm gonna miss that time.
It's gonna suck, man. Like there's nothing like driving a naturally aspirated V8.
There's nothing that sounds like
There's nothing that sounds like it.
No turbo lag. I guess what we didn't explain was, what is the F-Sport? What is the difference between the F-Sport and the normal? That is the styling. You're not getting an engine output difference.
You're not getting an engine output difference. You're just solely getting a visual and a little bit of a performance upgrade here and there.
From the steering and throttle response, those things. Not an actual, you're not getting a turbo in this. It's just like getting the M Sport package on a car, or the AMG kit, or the S-Line package, things like that.
Yeah, it's solely a package that provides you visual, as well as a few performance upgrades in regards to the suspension that you can get on the car, the visual aspects that you can get on the car, and the output, or the power output, the way it's delivered. You can get a little bit of a difference between that, but nothing major when it comes to picking that package versus the regular package. But for the cost of that package, you won't go wrong getting the F-Sport.
I think that if you're already getting into this market, you gotta throw that kit in.
You have to throw that in.
Because when you see those 5 Series, or even this car without the kit, this car I feel like you're gonna live without having it. But when you get those kind of cars, this midline sport sedan, get the package, man.
Yeah, you
get the package. Make it look good. You're already spending the money. Make it look good. Don't on those plain 14-inch rims. Come on. No one likes seeing that. now we're gonna hop out of this one and into the all-wheel drive version of this car. You're gonna see it look a lot the same, minus the color of the seats. The seat color is way better. I'll say that right now. But let's hop into the other one.
And now we're in the Lexus GS350 F-Sport all-wheel drive model. Now, any difference on the outside?
The difference you're seeing is that I'm not driving anymore. Because I got to drive the last one.
That's a major difference.
That's the major difference. But the difference you're seeing is very aesthetic. Black seats instead of the red. The outside's gray, not white, but the car's pretty much the same.
Visually it's going to be the exact same car, identical almost.
Yep.
The only visual thing that you might be able to notice on the outside is the fact that, again, on the rear-wheel drive version, you get the staggered wheel package. However, on the all-wheel drive model, all of the wheels specs and sizes will be the exact same.
You're also going to burn through those tires quicker, right?
Those do cost a little bit more.
There's no tire rotations for an all-wheel drive.
No tire rotation.
The all-wheel drive, you use them all, and then you get 4 new ones. You don't get a tire rotation in between, but, you know.
Let's talk about the actual cost of the different models within the lineup and how it falls with its competitors.
Yep.
Starting off, the very base model, now, again, think about it, it's a Lexus, so the base model, you still get everything that you'd want in it, but starts off at around $49,000,
yep.
And fully spec'd out, depending on what version that you get, fully loaded, can end up being around the mid-60s.
Yeah.
So, again, you have a range of what you want within the car, exactly. And you have a range of what you can pay for with this particular car.
Even though we're testing both the F-Sports, the normal car drives great. I've driven the normal one. It drives great. You might not get the rev matching all that Sport. You'll get Sport. You won't get Sport Plus. But, I mean, it's still a great car. You're still getting almost everything else in this car, minus the styling. So, still a great car for $48,000, which the direct competitors are the Audi A6, the Mercedes E-Class,
5 Series,
the 5
BMW.
Series, yeah, and then Acura really doesn't have one, right? I mean, you could say the top-end TLX and the bottom-end RLX.
RL, yeah,
somewhere in there, you could somewhere say that is the case, but I guess they don't really have a competitor there, but...
No.
And then the Infiniti Q50 is the other. Yeah. That's slightly cheaper, but that's what you're going for.
And size-wise, it's a little bit smaller. But then again, you got to think about it. We go back to the fact that there are plenty of, German or European counterparts to this particular, model lineup, right? But then you think about it. If you're somebody that's on the market to buy a car in that price range, why not go with a brand that is known for the reliability?
Of course.
I know people that are driving the first generation GS, and they love the car.
That car is still a great car.
And it's still, it's trucking along like it's a brand new car. And some people, as long as you maintain them properly, these things will last forever, because what's the brand that's behind Lexus?
Toyota.
It's Toyota.
The best-selling car company in America. The Camry is the best-selling car, and this should be the same.
And you can't go wrong with purchasing something like that. Now, you go back to costs associated with the car. Again, the maintenance and stuff that's behind purchasing any car like this.
You get 1 tier lower than those German cars. It's slightly cheaper. It's not cheap, mind you.
Yeah,
it's not cheap, but it's 1 tier lower.
Yeah, it's not. You're not taking in your Camry or your Corolla to get an oil change. You're taking in your Lexus.
Yep.
And in this case, if you're purchasing the GS F-Sport models, there's a different braking kit that you might get on the car. So again, performance oriented.
The other thing that comes with this car, and even Lexus does it overall through their brand, and even I think Acura and Infiniti do a pretty good job of it. They have certain packages for their cars, but the base model comes pretty fully loaded, not like other German counterparts, where navigation is not standard.
Yeah.
Navigation is standard in this car, which in 2016 blows my mind. If you spend $48,000,
you don't get
navigation. I get it, you have it on your phone, but still, I like looking at the map. I like looking at it. I don't use it. I like looking at it.
It doesn't have to have any sort of real functionality.
Yeah.
But if you have a screen, man, put in an app.
It's a principle.
Yeah.
You've already put the screen in. Why am I not getting that? If I understand if you spend $20,000 on a car, fine. Maybe that's something to make you get every dime out of you. Spending $48,000 minimum.
Yeah. And I mean, you got to think about also the warranties that you get with this car in the price range of vehicle that you're purchasing. You get 4 years, 50,000 miles factory warranty with any Lexus that you purchase off the market or off the lot, and then you get, I want to say, 7 years, 70,000 or 6 years, 70,000 mile warranty on the engine powertrain combination that you get. So I mean, you're buying a reliable car that on top of that has an amazing warranty.
Yes.
So I mean, it's, that being said, that's awesome. But let's get back to the actual fact that the GS350 F-Sport comes in an all-wheel drive.
Yes.
The all-wheel drive configuration is an awesome configuration. Now, going back to the people that would purchase this car, when we talked about the last rear-wheel drive that we drove, again, someone who's wants to be able to take it as a daily driver, wants to be able to take it to the office and take it down, the windy roads on the weekend. The all-wheel drive gives you that and a step further because you can take this in inclement weather. The all-wheel drive also gives you a little bit of a boost when you actually take it off the line. The power output is to all four wheels. It's all four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive all the time.
All the time.
So
it's not one of those real-time ones where it's like, oh, if you need it, it'll kick in. This is just always an all-wheel drive, which is good, but you suffer in fuel efficiency at that time. But hey.
Yeah, a little bit of fuel efficiency does get affected. The weight of the car is a little bit heavier with the all-wheel drive system. And one thing that I've noticed, and it drives me crazy from our testing, is the fact that there's a hump right next to the
armor. It's a leg rest.
You could say it's a leg rest. Yeah, but I mean, just driving the rear wheel drive and not having it there, it's just weird to know that there's a bump out here. And there's a little bit. I mean, I don't know if you guys are going to be.
It isn't aesthetically pleasing to look at. That is definitely the case. It's not aesthetically pleasing to look at, but you can rest your leg.
It's nothing major, but it's just so underneath the middle console they have a little bit of a bump out on the driver's side to accommodate for the all-wheel drive system. That's about it. Nothing major, but it is there. So if
you're taller, maybe it'll get in the way if you're a little taller. But I'm not of average height, so it doesn't. Just rest my leg. That's how I see it. Just rest your leg. But another thing, back seat space. This car says it can fit 5. It can fit 4. There's a giant hump in the back.
It's definitely a 4-seater car.
It is. You have a 5th seat. If you have a child, you can throw them in the middle seat. You're fine. If someone a little shorter, they'll be fine. It's 4 adults.
It's 4 adults for sure. It's not comfortable to sit in that.
The guy in the back is gonna have their neck like this, like not comfortable. Like it has a low roof line. It's supposed to give you that sporty feel. So it's definitely a 4-seater at most times, and then. Otherwise, it's comfortable. For 4 people, it is comfortable. That 5th person gets in there, people can get to know each other really well at that point.
When you do have 4 people in the car and that comfort is exactly where you want it, it's an amazing ride in the backseat as well. You mentioned that the roofline is low. It is low, but it's not low enough that it's uncomfortable.
It's not that like Volkswagen CC low.
Yeah,
where it's actually like really low. It's not that low, but you can. If you're like 6'5", I think that person would say it's low. That's 6'5", but they'd probably say a lot of cars
are pretty low. Yeah, but you do get creature comforts in the rear, depending on what package that you get. You get the option for the infotainment system controls and your armrest. The seats in the back are not bucket seats, but they do kind of let you sit a little snug. In the back, it's comfortable. You do have wonderful legroom, depending on your driver. I'm a little shy of 6 foot, but I mean, I sit pretty far back in my seat. And I feel like if anyone's sitting behind me, they can sit pretty comfortably. But then again, everyone says that I sit like I'm in a dentist chair. So
you sit like you're in a dentist chair for sure.
If that's the case, then maybe you might feel.
I don't feel comfortable sitting by that, but that's just me because I like my leg space. But then let me drive because then I sit forward like I'm an old man, like the back support, which this seat has. These seats have it. The lumbar support's really nice. How does driving feel on this car versus the other car?
Driving in this car. You know what? The way that they've made both cars, it's not that you feel unconfident in one versus the other. They both feel very capable. But I can definitely see when you actually go and you're making the effort to take off from a stop. The delivery of the power on this particular car is a lot quicker, and quicker in the sense that the launch feels quicker. The power. the immediacy of the power. I don't know if that's a real word or not, but let's just say it's a real word.
Yeah. We're making words here now. We just make words.
But like how immediate the power is to the wheels, you can definitely feel it a lot more in this car than you can in the rear wheel.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really make that much sense to me in the fact that that's the performance package version of it, but it does make sense because it's all-wheel versus rear wheel. Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. That's fine. We
keep talking about the all-wheel, but one thing with this all-wheel is it has 19-inch rims. Unless you put all winter tires on it, okay, it has all-wheel drive. You can get through snow, but there is a little bit of, you still have sport tires on this. You still have sport rims. The grip isn't what it's like it is with those Goodyear Eagles on there. It still will slip a little because of the rim and tire combination on there. So don't go into buying this car like, oh, I live in Minnesota, this is gonna be great. No, buy a truck, buy a freaking truck, or buy the other GS without the F-Sport package because you get a little thicker of a tire, a little smaller of a rim,
smaller rim, bigger tire, and
you get winter tires. If
you can get that in all-wheel drive tue. So I know we may have failed to mention. You're right. We're testing the all-wheel drive configuration and the rear-wheel drive configuration of the F-Sport models of the GS, but they do come in a regular model. So in the regular model, you do get larger tires. The suspension is a more luxurious, softened suspension. Definitely. So you get those comforts.
So all in all, what's the difference between this rear-wheel drive and the all-wheel?
From my perspective,
we can say it in unison. Pretty much nothing.
Yeah,
right?
There's pretty much nothing that's different.
All-wheel drive is if you need all-wheel drive. If you live in California, in Southern California, you will never need the all-wheel drive.
You'll never need the all-wheel drive, and you can get the ability to have a rear-wheel drive, get a little bit better fuel economy.
But we out here on this East Coast get snow at least 3 to 4 times a year.
Our weather is unpredictable, so
100% unpredictable. So it's one of those things where it's like it's good to have.
It's good to have it.
It's good to have at least one car with all-wheel because you get snow and you didn't know you were gonna get snow and you're at work. It just happened to me. You like a car so you can get home.
Yeah.
That's
so you want the confidence building of an all-wheel drive. So you have it. It's not a big deal if you don't, but you'd probably want to have it if you're.
I would say if you're already out there getting that market.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Just do it. Yeah. The price bump isn't ridiculous where you wouldn't do it.
Where you wouldn't do it. Or
exactly.
Not do
you're already in this market, but compared to its competitors, I believe that this is a good buy. This is finally a Japanese car that competes. At least competes. Maybe it's not better than the 5 Series. Maybe it's not going to outsell a 5 Series. It's not going to outsell an E-Class. I don't believe it will. But it's still a car that definitely competes. It's definitely now in that market where they make these commercials for Lexus and they're like, "We're here, watch out." It's real. They're really doing that. They've brought up the infotainment system better, at least the same, if not better than their competitors. Drive quality is there. Power it's getting there.
Now, I have a question for you.
What's the question?
It's a pretty important question.
What is the question?
You in the mood for donuts?
Oh, I love donuts.
Let's do some donuts.
Let's do some donuts.
So, we got some donuts.
This is the best part of it.
Let's start off. What did you get?
Classic. I got the chocolate glazed and the French glazed chocolate.
Cooler.
It's cooler, yeah. It's
That's not a classic. That's not even a donut.
I mean, but
read the title of the thing.
The chocolate glaze is classic. What'd you get?
I got the Homer Simpson pink strawberry donut and the Boston cream. It's real good. I can't wait to eat this.
So, Abhi, what did you think of the car?
I think it's a wonderful car. If you're in the market for a luxury sports sedan, you probably don't have to look very far. That's an all-around awesome car to get. You get luxury, you get sport, you get reliability. So, I mean, that's pretty much an all-around winner.
So out of let's say 4 donuts, rate the interior, the exterior, the power, and then the wow factor, or would you buy it?
Okay. Interior, out of 4 donuts, I'd give it 4 donuts, 4 chocolate glazed donuts. Exterior, again, beautiful exterior combination. I think I'd give it a 4 out of 4. Power, I think any car that you drive anywhere can probably use another 100 horsepower. So I'd say maybe a 3.5, maybe a 3.5 bin donut.
You gotta eat half a donut.
Yeah, you gotta eat half a donut. And would I buy it? Yeah, I would definitely buy it. I think it's an all-around good car to get. So I'd
Okay, what do you think?
Just a comment. Let me start with a comment I have. This car puts Japanese cars back into that forefront of where German cars have just taken over for so long. This is something that German cars need to be at least worried about. At least know that it exists, because they throw a turbo in this car. Watch out. Watch out. Like, BMW's throwing turbos and everything these days. They got a toaster coming out with turbos. But, alright, so what's the first category?
So interior.
Interior, that's definitely a 4. That interior is a very, very good interior. When you're in there, it's great. For exterior, right? I'm gonna go with a 3. 3 because the new EcoS looks really good, and they redesigned this car a little bit. So I don't know if I should take that into account, but they redesigned this car a little bit. They made it look better, so I know they can do that. That's how they've done it with every GS. The first GS is like, damn, that looks good. Then the next one came out like, I messed with the old one, but I still want this one. And that's how it's worked out with each generation. So a 3 because I can know that they can do a little bit better. Power is a 2. I think the power is kind of like, you want a little bit more. Come on, Lexus, just a little bit more.
Yeah.
But the wow factor is there. It's a really good looking car. When you drive by, people look.
Yeah,
The rims
something
are
high
nice.
turner, yeah.
19s on there. It did good. It did good.
The best thing I would have to say at the end of it, overall, the best thing I love about this car, both of them, is the ride quality. Out of all of the Japanese lineup, I would say Lexus has got it down with the GS. The ride quality is amazing.
Yeah. It's definitely time to eat these donuts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely time to buy this car.
See you guys next time.
Oh, that's so good.
Donuts and coffee.
I only do this for the donuts. I don't like cars. I just do it for the donuts.
That was our review of the Lexus GS350, both the rear-wheel drive combination and the all-wheel drive combination. Feel free to subscribe, like our channel. Yeah, definitely like our videos.
Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. I'll be taking pictures of all my donuts that I have.
And if you guys have any suggestions for future videos, or the favorite donut that you want us to eat,
Comment. Tell me.
Let us
I love
know.
donuts.
And
I love donuts.
we'll try to make that happen.
All right.
Thanks so much.
See you guys next time.
Bye-bye.